You're listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.
Korea's net external financial assets just fell to their lowest level in 12 years, and the cause was a rising stock market. Pause. U.S. federal debt crossed $40 trillion for the first time. The Treasury doubled its buyback operations, and long yields fell only slightly. Google secured warrants in a chip designer worth up to $12.2 billion. It's Friday, August 21st. Here's why global investors are paying attention to Korea today. Korea's net external position measures what residents own abroad minus what foreigners own here. When the KOSPI surges, the market value of foreign-held Korean equities rises, and the net position shrinks even if no capital leaves. That is exactly what the second quarter delivered. Here's what the numbers show. Net external financial assets stood at $64 billion at the end of the second quarter, down $689.5 billion in 3 months, the steepest fall since records began in 1994. The KOSPI rose 67.8% over that period, lifting foreign equity holdings from $1.03 trillion to $1.88 trillion. External assets topped $3 trillion for the first time, but liabilities climbed faster, and Korea slipped from 8th to 9th in the IMF ranking of net creditor nations. U.S. federal debt reached $40.05 trillion, having grown $3 trillion in a single year. The Treasury doubled its buyback operations to $4 billion each from September through November, after which 10-year yields eased 0.058 points and 30-year yields 0.092. Matter-of-fact interest costs alone reached $1.17 trillion this fiscal year, the third largest line in the federal budget. Google took warrants on about 59 million Marvell shares at $206.58, worth up to $12.18 billion, sending Marvell up 9.8%, while Broadcom fell 4.57%. EcoPro-BM is raising 1.2 trillion won, roughly $860 million, with 765 billion won going into a 39% stake in an Indonesian nickel smelter. So what does this mean for global investors sizing Korea exposure? Earlier, we said the 12-year low came from a rising market, not from capital flight. Here's what that actually means for you. The drop is a valuation effect on shares foreigners already hold, and the Bank of Korea reports net external debt stable and payment capacity sound. The live variable is the U.S. long end, where a $4 billion buyback covers only 2.4% of outstanding 10 to 30-year paper. Watch the Treasury's expanded buyback window from September to November and whether long yields hold their decline. Watch the Bank of Korea's third quarter international investment position for stabilization in the net asset line. Watch Indonesia's tightened nickel export controls from September, which set the cost floor for Korean cathode makers. That's today's AI Prism Global Investors. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI Prism is a Juan Ifra award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.
You've been listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.